Hello everyone, and welcome to part 3 of Growing Up with FA. If you don't know what FA is, it stands for Friedreich Ataxia. It's a very rare neuromuscular disability, and I was diagnosed when I was 10 years old. Now I'm 23. And it is progressive. So as I was growing up, I continued to get more and more physically disabled, and that's what this whole story is about, my experience with all of that. And this video is gonna be about high school. I started off in 9th grade at 14 years old. First of all, it was very weird. My high school, we had a separate 9th grade campus, and then we had our 10th through 12th. So in 9th grade, I was on a campus with all the other 9th graders. And at the time, I was still walking, even though I probably shouldn't have been. Or I should have been using a walker or something, but my stubborn teenage brain did not want to be any more different than I already was. So I kept walking and try to be as normal as I could be. And I struggled a lot with walking. I also, at that age, had to start having an aid with me. I did not want one. I did not want an aid, but the school made me have one, so I had to be that girl with someone following me around all the time. The reason I had an aid was to take notes for me and help me take tests and just help me keep up my classes, which I love my aid, and I am very glad I have one now. At the time though, I did not want to have someone following me around and blah blah blah. So because of that, it was hard to maintain friendships. And there were some people who understood that I was disabled. So I did still have a few friends, but being in school and walking and everything, all of the physical effects of FA started to get a lot worse and started to really take a toll on me. And because I was walking, I was also falling a lot and getting hurt a lot, and it was just physically exhausting. So that's all I really remember about 9th grade, is going to school, trying to walk, and not fall constantly, because it was so embarrassing. And I would leave school, go home, and just be exhausted. And then 9th grade ended, and during the summer between 9th and 10th grade, I had to have surgery on my spine to correct my scoliosis, which is another side effect of FA. That summer when I was 15, I had spine surgery, and it was the hardest thing I've ever been through. The most painful thing I've ever been through. After that, I started using a wheelchair, not because of the surgery, just because my FA had progressed that much. I probably should have been using a wheelchair before that, but I was too stubborn. So finally, after I had surgery, I was like, I don't want to fall anymore. I'm in enough pain with this surgery. I'll use the wheelchair. So I showed up my 10th grade year in a wheelchair, and my social life vanished. I immediately lost all my friends. I was disabled, it was obvious. And I was 15, 16 years old. And when you're that different in high school, it's just impossible. So yeah, I didn't have any friends. I didn't have any social life. I just went to school, for school, did my work, did what I had to do, and then I went home. I did not enjoy it. I didn't want to be there, but I had to be. So I showed up, did my schoolwork, and went home. Most days, didn't talk to anyone besides my teachers and my aide. I didn't really do anything. I wasn't in any club. I was as antisocial as it gets. Also, in high school, I started in middle school. I went to one clinical study in Minnesota, traveled there from Louisiana. And then when I was in high school, I started going to more clinical trials. I went all over the country. I went to Minnesota, New York, Florida. I was non-stop traveling. That was kind of my social life, I guess, was traveling, going to clinical trials, and studies for faith. So most of my high school years were going to school, not talking to anyone. And then when I wasn't in school, I was traveling, going to doctors. They were doing tests, or I was taking experimental drugs and constantly doing tests. Yeah, all I remember from high school is school and clinical trials and no friends. And then I finally graduated high school in 2018. My graduation was actually kind of cool. After being in a wheelchair for 3 years at that point, I was still able to walk a little bit with a lot of assistance. So I surprised everyone, and I walked across the stage at my graduation, and I kinda copied my older brother because he did the same thing 5 years prior. But I had to one-up him, and I surprised everyone. So no one knew what was happening. I had even made my mom go shopping for high heels. I obviously had no balance, and if I was wearing high heels, there was no chance I could walk. But I was in a wheelchair, so I was like, I need heels for my graduation. And I wore heels, but then I had brought a backup pair of sneakers. So it was a total surprise, and I walked across the stage with assistance. I had 2 people helping me and holding me up, and I walked across stage, got my diploma, and finally high school was over. So that's what it was like for me, growing up with FA and going through school and all of that. I had all of the normal pressures of being a teenager and going through school with my disability. On top of that, any teenager who's disabled and watching this video, what I want you to take away is be confident and be your disabled self, because it's okay to be different, and it's honestly better to be different. I don't want to be like everyone else. I want to stand out. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to hear about my college life and my adult life, because I am 23, almost 24, so it's been almost 6 years, let me know in the comments. I can make a video, or you can follow me on my TikTok, my Instagram, my Facebook, any of those, and keep up with what I'm doing in my life now. But I hope you enjoyed learning about my experience growing up with MA. Bye!